guys, welcome back to my channel. Iam.nurseJackie. Okay, so I have officially been working as a nurse practitioner in women's health for over 2 months now. This week, I did some really exciting things. I actually, if you remember last week, I told you I had a patient who, last week I saw an IUI with my preceptor. This week I was on my own with the fertility patients and the hormone patients. And one of the patients we saw last week, actually, when she came in, her follicle search, the ultrasound to see if she had any follicles that were mature enough for us to do IUI, wasn't very promising. And then she said, well, I'm just going to come back Monday just to do another one. Well, she came back Monday, and I got to give her the news that her follicle search was good. She had some really good, mature, good sized eggs. So I gave her a shot of Pregnal to help release the egg, and then we scheduled her husband to go the next day for a semen wash. So all of the steps necessary to do an IUI procedure. So I did her IUI procedure. So that was really exciting. And then the next day, I got to do another IUI procedure. So I'm doing these IUI procedures, and the procedure itself is very simple, but I'm starting to meet with the fertility patients and just, hear their stories. And I think the main difference with being a nurse practitioner and being a labor and delivery nurse, which, you get, there's a lot of emotion involved in both, like labor and delivery, there's a lot of emotion. And obviously with these fertility patients and all of my patients really, and all of the OB patients, there's a lot of emotion involved. But as a nurse practitioner, I see them every week or depending on what stage they're in, every few weeks. And so you start to build a relationship with them. So, but yeah, the IUI procedures went great. I went from seeing one last week to now doing two this previous week by myself. And it was really good. It was a great experience. Obviously, I'm praying that everything goes well for these patients. Let's see. I had some new confirms, which is pretty normal as a women's health nurse practitioner. I did have some scares. I have a patient who's newly pregnant, and we did an ultrasound, and the heart rate wasn't that great. So I have her coming back in to do another ultrasound, and hopefully the heart rate is stronger. Oh, something else I did that I hadn't done since I've been at this clinic was insert an IUD. So I did some IUD insertions in clinical, which now has been a while, maybe maybe 2 years ago. So it's been a while since I've done an IUD insertion, and I've never done a Paragard, but I did a Paragard IUD insertion, and it went pretty well. So it wasn't expected. The patient just came in for a postpartum visit, and she was like, I thought I was getting my IUD put in today. I was like, oh, let me go check on it, make sure we have it. And we did have it. I put it in, and everything went well. So I know I'm talking a little bit fast, but my family's waiting on me. We're about to get ready to go to church. And then after church, it's my daughter's birthday weekend, so we're going to go celebrate then. So this is the best time for me to do this video. But let's see, what else? So I had, as you can tell, I am an African-American nurse practitioner, and I do have African-American patients. And one of the patients this past week, a little bit older, but as soon as I walked in the door, you could just see like the joy on her face. And then by the end of the appointment, she said, it's good to see one of us. So I know not everybody will understand what that means, but for those who know, And so that was a compliment to me, and it just made me feel good. And, it just reminded me that representation matters, right? So just to recap, I know this was a shorter video than normal, but we're just doing a quick recap. I did 2 IUI procedures this week. I put in an IUD insertion. I got a couple of compliments, and I realized that representation matters. At the end of the week though, gosh, this was hard. I did have my first patient who came in and did an ultrasound, and there was no cardiac activity. So when she came in before and did an ultrasound, we had cardiac activity, baby was doing well, and then she came back and the baby was no longer alive. So it was a fetal demise. I had to break the news to her and tell her the next steps to do. So unfortunately, spontaneous abortions or miscarriages are more common than we think. So it's just a reminder to be thoughtful and have compassion when you're talking to women and asking them, why haven't you had a child yet? Or what's going on? You never really know the story. And I knew that. I learned that as a labor and delivery nurse. I'm seeing it more now as a women's health nurse practitioner, and especially now that I'm working with fertility patients. So yeah, all in all, I had a great week. I had a very productive week. I learned a lot of new things and did some new things. So I'm still enjoying this journey. I hope you guys are enjoying the updates, and I'll see y'all next week.